can be good because you can push prospects to make a decision quickly to get money off their books at the end of the year. But it's also a black pit, man, because once we break for, from a week before Christmas until a week after New Year's, which is about where we are now, it's a bit of a black box. It's a dead zone. And today I'm going to show you live how I manage our pipeline, how I'm going to make some phone calls live for you here, things that I really hate doing, but I got to do it because it's part of the business. And I figured I would share it with you guys live. So, wherever you're watching, please feel free to leave me a comment, ask me a question as I get through this. If you need help with anything, sales, marketing, if you're in the B2B space, I'm here for you. Just drop a comment wherever you are, whether on YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching from, and I'll get to it. So, okay, let me go ahead and jump over here. Move my big old head out the way. Let's go ahead and share my screen. Screen, come on, screen. Screen. All right. So, just for context, this is for my agency business, Webris. We do lead generation marketing services, really search marketing, SEO, PPC, LSAs, local SEO, and Facebook ads for law firms, a lot of car accident, personal injury firms within that. I just want to quickly show you how I'm set up here so you can see me go through this. Again, if you're just joining now, make sure to ask me questions. I'm here. I'm here for y'all. So ask me questions wherever you're watching, and I'll get it here and answer them as I go through this. But when it comes to our generating of the leads, we're running a lot of paid traffic on Meta. I'm doing a lot of video on YouTube. You can make sure to check out our YouTube channel. Just Google, search for Webris. You'll see our YouTube channel. Building a lot of top funnel reach and awareness, and then using Meta ads to really drive into our pipeline and funnel. So we do run them through a video first, a 10-minute VSL video first that educates them on what we do and how we do it, and then prompts them to book a call. There's really only one way to get in touch with us. There's no email, there's no phone number. You have to book a time on our Calendly form here. My calendar form here, once it loads, run a little bit slow because of the live stream. You pick a time, you answer a few questions. Based on that question, it gets pushed automatically to our Slack channel. We'll review it together as a team. I'll just run you through what some of these questions look like here. Name, email, phone, website URL. Are you actively investing in marketing? Are you currently with an agency? How much time do you have left on that contract? What are you currently spending? What are you currently doing? This is an important question. If we can show you the roadmap to generate more leads for your law firm, are you willing to invest at least $10,000 a month to execute? And then how did you hear about us? So once they fill that out, it gets sent to our calendar. If they don't meet our criteria, we'll just cancel it and send them a nice email saying, not a good fit. They automatically push to our pipeline. We like to use ActiveCampaign. It's good because all of our email contacts are in here as well. So we have all of our contacts. These are 100% law firms here. I actually just sent out a campaign today and got a message back from somebody who's interested. So I regularly send out just kind of like newsletters, content updates, just kind of nurture the list, and over time, some of them convert. But also it's great because then if they do move into our sales pipeline, they automatically get moved here into our deal flow, into our pipeline, and all of the messages that we sent automatically pipe over here as well. So I really like ActiveCampaign, mainly because we use it for marketing. So it's kind of a seamless, nice transition into sales. So once they get added here, they automatically added to this awaiting discovery. So anybody that books a call, they automatically get added here. Some of them, if they're not qualified, like I know this one isn't qualified, this is an ASAP locksmith email. I'll just come in here and then move it to not qualified. And then what happens is they get moved in our pipeline over here to not qualified. So you can see 251 of our leads that have come in are not qualified at all. We don't even want to talk to them. And then, if we lose a deal, we move it over here to follow up in the future. And if they're just like, no, we're not interested, then we just move them here to deal closed, do not follow up in the future. So after I go through this process of kind of like reinvigorating our pipeline for the new year, what we'll do is we'll actually go through a lot of these and review them, send emails, make phone calls, and see if they're interested in potentially picking up the conversation this year. But If they're waiting discovery here, so our sales process is very simple. They have a discovery call with me. I go through, run them through what we do, ask them a lot of questions about themselves. And if they're qualified, then I move them. You can literally drag them over here. It's pretty dope. To the awaiting analysis proposal. At this point, we have somebody on our team. Her name is Annette, our biz dev rep. She builds the proposal. It's a very, very deep, detailed analysis, 40-page slide deck, auditing their website, auditing their current marketing. Really sets the foundation of what we would pitch them and how we do it for them. And then after, this is actually in the wrong spot here. After we do that, we move them to awaiting decision. So all the people in here have gotten a pitch proposal from us, and we're just waiting to hear back from them. So this is really where I spend a lot of my time and my team's time with follow-up. So all of these people have had 2 phone calls with me or somebody on my team. They have an actual proposal with the exact scope of work that we want to do for them. And now, like when I click in here, I can see within this card all the notes that we have here. So we record all the sales call, the statement of work, all the emails that they've seen and engaged with here. So when people ghost on me, this kind of gives me a little bit of insight if they're opening emails and stuff like that as well. We don't have his phone number here. So for example, what I like to do is I'll marry this with my email. So in my email, I also use a platform called Streak. I think it's like $10 a month, maybe a little bit more than that, where I just mimic the same pipeline inside of ActiveCampaign. Now, you might be asking, why don't you just use ActiveCampaign to email? I could, but for whatever reason, like I can send an email directly through here, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, I feel more comfortable working in Gmail because the ability to search all these different side conversations, etc. So usually what I'll do when I'm going through this process, right? So when we come up here, for example, anyone that is in here, I'm going to reach out to today to see if I can figure out what's going on, to see if I can figure out where we're at here. So what I'll do is I'll just search my email here and I'll see the last time we spoke. So I'll open up the email thread. I'll scroll down here and you can see that we sent the last communication was 7 days ago. A lot of the times I'll try and note this inside of ActiveCampaign here. If I come back here to the contact list, but before I make a phone call, I'll usually send a follow-up email. So let's just send a quick follow-up email here. So this was January 3rd. So I don't need to say things like, Happy New Year, etc. Just wanted to see if you had a chance to discuss with your partner. What I like to do too is, I left this open-ended because this was kind of my fault. I didn't push him too far. I also sent a Loom video here so I can jump in and take a look at this Loom video and see if he watched it. And this is important for context too, because one of the reasons why I love Loom and a lot of this technology and software, it allows us to not be like a completely annoying salesperson. So you can see he didn't watch this, right? So that gives me context on my follow-up that he didn't watch it, and I'm just going to bump him up. So again, I'm just going to say, I could say, did you get a chance to watch the video? But I'm just going to say, had a chance to follow up your partner. And what I like to do too, I did a bad job here, is I like to, when we're doing sales, we want to make sure that we're giving concrete dates, times. We're not letting them kind of wiggle out. If you leave it open-ended, they're gonna weasel out of it, and not in a mean way, but they're just gonna weasel out of it, right? So, do you have time tomorrow to chat? I am free anytime after 1 p.m. Eastern time. So, and then I'll just send that, right? And then what I'll do is I'll come back in here and I'll add a note and I'll say, because I didn't put it in 1/3 sent SOW. And then I'll say today's the 10th, 1/10 sent follow up against SOW, right? And then what I'll also do is I'll just make sure that he's inside. So he is inside of the pipeline. I'll click this. He's in my Weber sales, and I need to move him into awaiting decision, right? So now when I come here and I can check out this pipeline, again, he's in here for all the contacts. Now they don't exactly mirror one-to-one because frankly, it's a little bit more work than I like to do. but it allows me to kind of stay organized. Being organized with the sales stuff is incredibly important. Mike asks, do you use nurturing sequences? Mike, I don't use nurturing sequences from a sales point of view. It's a really good question, because what's also really good about ActiveCampaign is you can set automated emails where every time, for example, you move somebody in the pipeline, you can send them an automatic email, right? So for example, when somebody automatically gets added here to Wade and Discovery, we could send them an automated email that says, hey, thank you for your interest. We're really excited. You're going to be speaking to Ryan, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that mainly because our show up rate is really, really good. Our show up rate is almost 100%. It's like 95% show up rate to our discovery calls, which tells me that our marketing is really, really good, because they're excited. And I know our marketing is really good because they're excited to show up. They're showing up, and it's not an issue. For me, nurturing sequences can help if you have a very low show up rate. But we also, I'll just open up Calendly for you real quick too. So because they're booking through Calendly, I personally like to use Calendly to do the kind of like call booking automation sequences. So when I come in here, for example, right, law firm intake, no, it's not this one. It is. So these are all the different ones that we have here. Law firm lead generation consulting. So when I click on this, notifications and workflows. So you can see I have an email 2 hours before, and then a calendar invitation immediately after book. So they're already getting invites. I know it's getting added to their calendar. That's why I love Calendly. So we personally do not use email nurturing sequences, but you could very much so, depending on what you're selling. My point of view on this is that I've been doing sales in the agency space for so long, and to me, agency sales is all about them being excited enough to make a decision, or them being armed with enough information to make a decision. This is not a hard close, call, give them all sorts of like Wolf of Wall Street tactics to get them to close, because ultimately it's a very big decision. There's a lot of moving pieces, especially the deals that we want to sell. You can see our, like, the lowest deal, this is monthly by the way, the lowest deal size that we have in here is $4,000 a month, right? So these are pretty big decisions for people, so we don't want to just push them too hard, because they're ultimately just going to probably ghost or say no. So this is a very consultative process. It's not like a push too hard sequence. Jeff asked, it's a little bit off topic, but we developed an AI script. It will be available inside the Blueprint training, Jeff. We're going to be doing a live boot camp teaching all that next month, so stay tuned. I don't have it with me here, but it will be inside the Blueprint training. So just make sure to stay tuned inside of the Blueprint training for all that. So all right, so let's go through the next one here. There's one that I did want to call. I got his number. So let's go through here and actually call this, just so you guys can see what this might look like. 305-682. And what I'll also do too is just pull up, before I call him, I will pull up the previous conversations that we've had to just see what he had said. So this was November 25th, Thanksgiving. He said, I'll dig in. I sent him again here. So December 9th was the last time I spoke to him. So I'm just going to give him a call real quick, and y'all can listen in. See if he picks up.
Hello?
Hi, is this Peter?
No, you have the wrong number.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's embarrassing. I got the wrong number, but not a problem. So what I'm going to do is actually just remove this from, did I dial that right? 682-5821. Oh, I dialed the wrong number. All right. Well, there we go. Let's try it again. 682-58. Scope of work here too.
Good afternoon, Stacy.
Hi, I'm looking for Peter.
There's no one hear that name. Maybe they're from another office or something.
Yeah, no worries. I have his email. I'll send him an email. Maybe I can get in touch with him that way.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye. So, one of the issues you're obviously going to have, I'm just going to remove the phone number so don't call me again in the future, is, this is a pretty good sized firm that we're pitching here. And, we could get the firm number, we could get a fake number, all sorts of things. So I'm just going to send them a quick follow up. So I'm leaving this one a little bit more open-ending. I know I said I wasn't supposed to do that. But again, the reason being is, we'll just say 1/10, send follow-up. I just like to try and get them on the phone again. I have really great conversations with these folks on the call. And the goal is to try and get them back on the phone, either on some sort of call. Let's do one more here, just for y'all here. Let's look at this guy here. Just check to see when the last conversations was. So I sent him a proposal on the 16th. He saw it on the 18th, but didn't respond. So let's go ahead and give him a call. And just when it comes to these calls too, guys, I don't like doing it. And I'm very much so not a proponent of cold calling. I think it's annoying. I think it's kind of stupid and a waste of time. That's just my opinion. Though I know you sales bros out there might hammer me for that. But I'm not a big fan of cold calling. But when you've had multiple face-to-face conversations with them, and they have requested a proposal from you, and you've done the work, there's a certain level of accountability that you have, right? I call it like leverage, right? Leverage is, relationships. Every relationship on this planet has some sort of leverage in it, and up and down. Someone who holds upper hand. And when it comes to doing agency sales, you lose leverage. You have more leverage the longer that it's been together, right? Like, they understand that they have asked your time. They've come, every single lead that comes in. This is why marketing is so important, guys, and outbound sales stinks. Because if I'm cold calling people, they owe me nothing. They can just be like, dude, you bothered me. I didn't come to you. But every single person in my pipeline came to us. They went out of their way to contact us, went out of their way to book a time on my calendar, had 2 conversations, went through a proposal call with me. They know that they owe me a response. So I'll call these folks because I feel like they owe it to me. Now, granted, with the holiday, we just have to be very careful. So let's give him a call here and just see if he even remembers me, because this one is, I would give this one a probability of like 30% close rate. So let's just see if I can get him on the phone.
This is Jed Silverman. I'm unavailable to get to your call right now. If you're calling Monday through Friday in between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., please call my office, 713-226-8800. One of my assistants will help you. Otherwise, please leave me a message. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey Jed, how you doing? Ryan Stewart here. We had spoken about doing some search marketing work for your website before the holiday break. I know things can get pretty crazy, so I just wanted to give you a quick phone call, touch in, see if you had a chance to speak to your partner, or just see if you wanted to have a quick call to just kind of rehash everything that we'd spoken. I know that the holiday break, for me anyways, can definitely tend to forget things over that 2-week period. I don't even know what day it is sometimes. So this is my cell phone number, 508-494-78. And you can give me a call back if you want. If not, I'm going to send you an email right now. We could just take to there. Hopefully you had a great new year, and we will talk soon. Take care. So that's it. I mean, nobody really checks voicemails. I'm not a big fan of it, but um, I like to do it. And then I'll also send a text message off the back of that, right? So I will text him. I don't want to put his number out here, but I will text him after this and just kind of follow up. And then also, again, just follow up. It's just more kind of like layers and levels of accountability here. So that's it, y'all. This is sales. It's not sexy. It's not fun. It's very tedious and monotonous. I like I said, for those of you who have just joined, like I don't do outbound calling. I don't do cold calling. I only call people that are inside of our ecosystem um, that have requested information to talk to us that have been through a proposal. And at that point, I'm making dials. Like I don't give a shit. I'll call whoever. Because again, if you've taken a couple hours worth of my time, then I don't find it annoying to call you, and you're going to remember who I am when you pick up. And honestly, it's just the fastest way to get to a decision. So like when I come in here and look at our pipeline, right? I know that after the holiday, there's 10 deals in here. We'd be lucky to close 3 out of them. That's just kind of what it is. If it's the middle of the year and I have 10 deals in here that are waiting, it's usually closer to like 6, so like double it. But man, the holiday just really, really throws a wrench in these plans, because it's already hard enough to get in touch with a lawyer, but let alone after or during a holiday break, it can be even more difficult. So got a question here from Kai. Guys, please feel free to drop in your questions. I would love to help you out with anything sales, marketing related. Drop it in the chat. Kai asks, what level of ActiveCampaign are you using? I've been using Pipedrive in the past and thought about utilizing it, but I'm curious the difference if you use both. Yes, great question, Kai. So we used to use Pipedrive. And honestly, like any CRM that you use is fine. I landed on ActiveCampaign because I've used HubSpot, I've used Pipedrive, I've used Sheets, I've used ClickUp, I've used so many different tools, and I've tried so many different tools, but it's not really about the tool. It's much more about your process, right? Hopefully, as you go through this and you see me, like I have a very airtight process and system that I use um, to to make sure that we're staying on top of this. So Pipedrive is good. ActiveCampaign, we pay like the most basic level. I think, let me just pull it up and just look. I'll tell you exactly what we pay for it. I can tell you, let me go back here, share my screen with you so you can see exactly what it is. But you don't need to get like a crazy deal. Again, I really like ActiveCampaign because I'm a marketer first and foremost. Let's see, billing and upgrade. Let's see what we're paying here. And I love the fact that all my contacts are in here from a marketing point of view, and they path just over. Like I literally sent out an email today promoting a new video that we have, right? And this guy, Craig, just came in and said, I'm willing to talk with you about your program, right? So this now, his information is already inside of here, and it just ports over very easily. Did I lose this? Let me see here. Billing and upgrade. Do I have two? Oh, I do. I have two things going on. That's why. All right, so let's take a look here. So my plan, I have 5,000 contacts, 4 user seats, 50,000 monthly email sends. Looks like we're paying about $275 a month. We are, I don't know exactly where we are. We're on the plus plan, right? So the thing about these platforms, man, is that you're going to get billed much more based on the amount of contacts that you have inside of here versus like versus what you have. So I have the plus plan. So again, 5,000 contacts, 4 user seats, 50,000 email sends. And when you come in here and look at what we have, I don't have a lot of contacts inside of here. Now, so we have another account for the blueprint training, and we have like so many more contacts inside of here. We're paying so much more. So I've like call it 2,000 contacts inside of WebRis and inside here of ActiveCampaign. And when we were doing more of a sales model at the blueprint, we would use this much more. So here we have almost 35,000. We're using this much more at the blueprint, but because we're sending out much more emails, we have a lot more automations going. Agency stuff is pretty simple. You don't really need to overcomplicate it too much. But I really do like the platform. I wish they were paying me to do this because I promote all these people, all these tools. Um, yeah, Connor, I appreciate you liking this style of content. Make sure to I'm gonna put a link to this video that you can join the email list. I'm doing these every single day, guys. Every single day for the next 30 days, I'm gonna be doing a live session at 1 p.m. Eastern time. YouTube is gonna be the main platform, but I'm streaming across all my channels. Um, this is how I love doing this type of stuff. I actually like it, and it's so much easier for me to plan this stuff to just come on here and talk about what I'm working on, and then interact with you guys live here. Just please ask me questions, otherwise I run out of stuff to talk about. You asked, would you suggest to someone who has experience in SEO but want to start outreaching local businesses for the service? I had planned to do personalized outreach with issues on their website, but it's still figuring out. I'm a marketer, Aditya, so like anytime you're doing outbound, that's a sales thing, man. I know how to sell, but I'm not a salesperson. If you put me inside of like a hardcore aggressive sales organization, I am failing all day long because it's not what I do. I'm a marketer. I like to have leverage in the conversation, the relationship, and when you have to reach out to that person, like when you look at my sales process, right? It's they come in, they book a call, I go through a discovery call, I go through analysis, and then a proposal, right? It's a very simple 3-step process. And every single person entered that through the exact same place, through the exact same messaging. It makes like the reason why I, who own 3 businesses, am able to do sales because I have it streamlined so much. Now, granted, I've got years of equity in the market, building content and running ads, but I told myself over the past year that when I teach and coach this stuff, I'm going to stop making excuses for the people who watch this. What I mean by that is I've always made excuses for you by saying, oh, well, I've been making video for 14 years, so I'm not going to tell you to do that because maybe you can't do it. Like, no, bullshit. You can do it. Anyone can do it. And it's the best way to do it. And it's the way that I know how to do it. So I can only teach the way that I know. So anything outbound, guys, I'm just going to say, no, don't do it. Like, do you like getting random messages from people? The only time, the only time outbound is a good method is if you have a guaranteed offer. So I just did a consulting call yesterday inside of the Blueprint training, and it was with somebody who does lead generate. They sell leads to personal injury law firms. They use Facebook ads. They're able to generate leads for $200. They sell it to the personal injury law firm for $500. They usually close 1 out of 4. So any personal injury lawyer would tell you that $2,000 they're willing to pay for a signed case. So that it is out, like has outbound written all over it. You can run ads for it too, but like outbound is like I would just get on the phone or just email people and say, I can guarantee you signed cases for $2,000. Are you in or are you out? But if you're like gonna contact people and be like, hey, there's an issue with your website, they're gonna be like, well, my business is running fine, so what do I care about it? That's what I would say. And I'm also not gonna hire somebody that I probably don't know unless they have a guarantee on top of it. It's just the nature of the world today, the nature of the internet. So, it's really hard to do outbound. I'm not an outbound salesperson. I know these sales bros out here will have you thinking differently, that you can just mass DM people. But like, do you want to see my LinkedIn? Do you want to see my Instagram? Like, it is a cesspool of sales attempts, and it's not something that I would personally recommend doing. So, do marketing, man. This session is called the mind of the marketer, not the mind of the salesperson. I know I'm doing some sales stuff here, but that's what I would recommend, Aditya. Who else got questions for me? Or should we cut it off and have a great weekend for the day? Speak now or forever hold your pace. So again, those of you just joining, I'm doing these every single business day, 1 p.m. Eastern time, streaming live on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Facebook, everywhere. YouTube is going to be the main platform. Make sure to hit the link that I'm going to post on YouTube so you can sign up to the email list. So if you miss any of these, or if you want, every single one of these is going to have a different topic too. Yesterday I was talking about Facebook versus Google. The day before that I was talking about our Facebook ads process that we use. Today I'm going through and cleaning out my sales pipeline. And I gave you a little peek into that, just made some live phone calls. So, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing these every single day. Rodman asked, do I work on weekends? Not since having a kid. I had a kid this past year, and it's cliche, but you lose a lot of your time to that. for the better. Having kids the best thing that has ever happened to me. I love them more than anything in my life, but I've lost the ability to work nights, weekends. And at first it was a tough adjustment. You know, what people don't tell you about when you have a kid is it's not so much that the kid is hard, it's the new relationship that you have to figure out with your spouse. And part of that was, how do I run two businesses with 20 employees when I've got this new little guy in our life? And it was a very tough adjustment, but it forces you to make decisions and to be a leader and to be an operator and to be a business owner. So no, I don't work weekends anymore. After this, I'm gonna unplug. After I do this live session, my calendar is free. My wife and I are gonna go to the grocery store. Then we're gonna go to the gym. She's gonna go first, and I'm gonna go. And we're gonna take the kids watching the kid. So I don't work as much as people think, and this kid was the best thing for that, because he forced me to hire and delegate. And that means you have to take one humongous step back in your income. But man, we've taken leaps and bounds forwards, because now I see the bigger picture, right? It's 1:30 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, and I'm sitting here live streaming. You know, this is my job. This is what I do, and I love doing this too. This is really what I'm passionate about doing. So I don't work that much, and I certainly don't work weekends anymore. I mean, maybe like an hour or two, you know, but like the thing is, I don't have the time too, because my kid wakes up at 5:30, and he still wakes up a few times in the middle of the night. So my wife handles the nighttime. I'll take him in the morning for 2-3 hours and let her sleep in. My big work time before having him was that time. I've always been a morning person. I would get up at 7. I would work for 2 hours, and I would have like 90% of my day-to-day done, and then I could spend the rest of the day doing, you know, other stuff. But now I lost that time, and I realized that a lot of we really don't need to work more than a few hours a day, unless you're in like the building startup part of your business. If you've been running your business for a few years and you're still working like 20 hours a day, like there's a problem. There's a problem, and you're probably doing stuff that you don't need to be doing, that could easily be hired and pushed on top of somebody else. And man, guys, too, like AI has come such a long way. If you haven't figured out how to leverage tools like Perplexity or Claude or ChatGPT, you're already behind. You're already behind. Like, you know, a lot of what I'm doing here, AI is helping me out. You know, coming up with topic ideas, you know, helping me kind of format what to talk about, how to engage audiences, how to write copy, how to write content, not even how to, but like doing it all for me. Like any sort of like written copy and stuff is done completely through AI now. So I'm going to be talking a lot about it on these live streams. So again, make sure to like and subscribe on my channel, because I'm going to be basically just live streaming. This is kind of like a video blog for me here, where I'm just going to be live streaming like what I'm working on today. My work today was going through the 10 deals that I have open, calling them, following up with them, getting them back in my pipeline. On Monday, you know, maybe we'll talk about a proposal that I'm working on. Maybe we'll talk about we just signed a new Facebook ads client for the agency, so maybe I'll kind of walk you through what the onboarding process looks like. But that's also why I want you guys here. Like, you tell me, type in the chat what you want to see me talk about, because I'm happy to format that. So make sure to join the email list and sign up, because you know, you can just email. It's my personal email. You can just email me directly and let me know what you want to talk about. So that's all I got for today. I'm going to cut this off. I appreciate all of your time and attention as always. Love you all. Have a great weekend. And yeah, I'll see you back on Monday. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern time Monday on my YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about business.